Yes.
All right, cool. What's up, y'all? 17-1. Keep them rolling. Junior, David, we're here breaking the fourth walls and news.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having us.
Giving us your
Sure,
time.
thanks for being here.
Oh, hey,
Thank you.
no problem, man.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
All right. The September is here. DC has announced September all their books will ship with 0 issues. Congrats to them. But while DC's doing that, we're preparing for Marvel now. Avengers vs. X-Men is at issue 10. It was a bi-weekly series. There's 2 issues left, 11 and 12. Marvel's decided to put those issues at a monthly schedule now. So issue 11 will ship in September, with the final issue 12 shipping in October. The relaunch for Marvel Now officially starts in October with Uncanny Avengers #1. They're doing that the way DC did. Flashpoint 5 was the end of one era, and then the same day, that week, only 2 books shipped from DC. It was the Flashpoint 5, and it was the Justice League #1 from the New 52. Marvel's kind of doing that in October with AVX 12 and Uncanny Avengers #1. Not saying that those are the only 2 Marvel books shipping, but those are the core 2 that they're going to focus on.
Okay.
So, Marvel now has announced their creative teams for the relaunches that they've announced so far. And I gotta say, I'm excited for some of these. I really am. It's no secret, I'm a huge Mark Waid fan.
It's no secret, believe me.
His Daredevil run has been spectacular. Now he's coming on over to the Hulk. Jason Aaron's run, I'm enjoying it greatly. I would like to see where Jason Aaron could have took it if they wouldn't have canceled the series at 15. But I'm sad to see Jason go, but I'm happy to see Mark come, you know? And they've retitled the book. It is now called The Indestructible Hulk. And he is a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm not getting that, but I do trust Mark Waid on this.
I like this. I think the title Indestructible says a lot. I think they're just kind of owning up to the character. Like they're just accepting, okay, this guy, he is a top dog. He will eat Superman if he could.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. I like that they're finally pushing him all the way up there as opposed to, I think he's always been hindered in some way. I think there's been too many times where people have said, but Thor could beat him if he does this. Or he's gone toe-to-toe too many times with like a Wolverine character. I think now they're more accepting like this is a godlike creature.
Mm-hmm.
And he should be out there really kicking
like
ass.
I said, I'm very curious to see what direction Mark Waid takes him in. But he's joined on this book by one of your favorite artists, Liefeld Yu. That ought to be good. Time out. So as we were saying, Indestructible Hulk, Mark Waid, Liefeld Yu. I'm very curious. Last time Yu has worked on... Well, he actually worked on Incredible Hulk with the Jason Aaron run.
Yeah.
As a fill-in for Mark Silvestri, who was supposed to relaunch the series and did 1 issue.
Yeah. Which that just draws up our old conversation.
Yeah, we're not getting into that.
We're not. That was...
A lot of people...
We're talking about Marvel now.
Yeah. Not Marvel then.
No.
The one thing, every time I think Liefeld Yu and I think Hulk, I think the Ultimate Hulk versus Wolverine miniseries. Remember that? Where Hulk rips him.
Oh, yeah. Because that Hulk was actually hardcore. Do you think that's what they're bringing into the...
It'd be nice if they took that approach.
Yeah.
But him working with S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of makes me wonder.
Now, do you see them keeping the Hulk that returned from his great adventure in World War Hulk? Do you see that staying? Like that could be a possibility. That could be why. Like they're dealing
warrior kind of.
Yeah, they're dealing with a warrior yet intelligent being.
I could see that. I could see them trying to be like, okay, this guy can destroy us. Let's keep him under our belts.
Let me tell you where I'm going with this. Because I could totally see this becoming the Cogliostro universe. Because he's in S.H.I.E.L.D. now. He has access.
Okay.
He pretty much has access to the world. Anything kind of like puts him off kilter, makes him lean a little bit to this side. Boom, he's gonna go crazy and just rule on anybody.
Another book we mentioned, Uncanny Avengers. Rick Remedier and John Cassaday. Like John Cassady's X-Men work, he launched Astonishing X-Men with Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
That was a good run. Cassady's been quiet as far as big star books. He's been doing little things here and there, so it's good to see him back on a big tier book. I'm a big fan of his work. He's one of those artists, though, that I'm hoping it doesn't happen to, but I'm starting to see how we were talking about, Silvestris and all these other artists who, over the years, their art isn't as tight as it used to be, so to speak.
Right.
I see it going in that direction, which I hope I'm wrong on, because he's a great artist.
Yeah. A lot of that's also speed too. You've been in the business so long.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he's trying to do that. We don't want to think it's the other one where like you've been in the business so long and you're kind of tired of doing it.
Right.
We hope it's not that one.
You know, Rick right now, his name is going through the ranks crazy in Marvel right now. You know, he just got off Venom, the new Venom series with Flash Thompson. That was a great run.
Oh.
He's done with that now. He's moving on.
So where do you see the Avengers roster going? I've been seeing a lot of images of Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, she's on it. Havoc is on it. Captain America, Rogue. Who else? There's 2 other members. I want to say Thor.
Yeah, Thor. I remember that. Yeah.
And one more, another X-Men. I can't remember.
Is it
who it was.
Kayla?
No, not you're thinking the Quesada image.
Oh yeah.
I'm very curious.
Storm.
That's like I said. That's the book they're pushing out first. So obviously that's the book that Marvel's really putting all their chips on.
The only reason I'm asking you that is because to me that's a really strong team, especially because I'm a big fan of Rogue and where she and how they let her grow.
What do you think about this? You have all these heavy hitters: you Scarlet Witch,
yeah.
Captain America, Thor, but Havoc is the leader of the group.
That's interesting. I kind of don't mind it because of all his work that he did in X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he's already had experience working with the government, and that's probably where they're going to do a tie-in, like government /
where do you
Shield / making sure our superpowered teams are in check.
Where do you see those not Cyclops. I hope he's dying. Captain America sitting back and taking.
Let's talk about Cyclops now.
No, let's not. We don't have time for that shit. Well, if you want to talk about Cyclops, we can, because the next book I was just about to mention is All New X-Men, written by Brian Michael Bendis, who is now finally leaving the Avengers bunch, and drawn by Stuart Immonen. So, as far as the plot for All New X-Men is sometime during the past, the 5 original X-Men were on a mission, and they got transported to the present time. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see the teenaged versions of the original 5 looking at their current counterparts. And in the Marvel previews, I was looking through it, they've got a couple of preview pages, and they show Beast staring at Beast, and he's like, "Welcome to our time." And the teenage Beast is just kind of rubbing his face like, "So I get all blue and furry?" Like one of those looks, you know?
See, man, here's the thing. It's interesting. It's interesting because it's one of those things where, like, the current roster has to do like a reflection period.
Yeah.
Like, do we have to stop right now and just get ourselves in check? Like, this was the original dream. Are we living up to it? Type of thing.
Yeah.
But
I can see this as a mini series.
Okay, but
I can't see it as an ongoing.
Whenever you deal with time travel, there are possibilities of plot holes.
There's no possibilities about it. There are plot holes.
There are. Okay, if it's one of those things where, like, we went to the future, we saw it's gonna go down. Now are you gonna go through all of your backstories and be like, wow, they could have prevented this, and this, and this based on what they knew?
Yeah. So at the end of the series, if they go back, does that mean that none of the other stuff has happened?
Yeah. Like,
this is why I hate time travel stories.
I'm gonna wait till that Legacy guy comes up, and I'm just
gonna
I'm gonna shiv him.
Unless your name is Cable or Bishop.
Yeah, what's gonna happen to them? Universe. Oh my god!
You don't time travel. Yeah. That's it. Though, if those aren't your names, you don't, or maybe Shard. We'll give Shard.
Shard, yeah.
But other than that, you're not allowed to time travel in the Marvel universe.
Nimrod, some of the bad guys.
Kang the Conqueror.
But oh my god, it's like
you don't do it. Just don't do it.
I just, it's cool. It's gonna set up a lot of good visuals and maybe even some comical moments.
It brings back Jean Grey. That's a big thing that people are looking at.
You could always
it's a loophole.
She's a Phoenix. You could always bring her back.
Side note. I mentioned AVX 12.
Yeah.
One of the teaser images that's been released is the image of the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like the woman Dark Phoenix. The only catch is the face is in shadow. You see red flowing hair, and she's got the Dark Phoenix outfit. Question that's going around: is it somehow Jean, or is it Hope, or is it Scarlet Witch?
All acceptable. Maybe even Scarlet Witch. That's probably why they're hyping her up so much in all these covers. But if you're a fan of Wolverine vs. X-Men, the animated series, which you should all be, it's a great show.
What show?
Wolverine and the X-Men.
Oh, I said Wolverine versus the X-Men.
Wolverine and the X-Men.
I've never seen that.
How they finished it off and how you accept the fact that anybody could be the Phoenix, then I'm okay with that.
I bought that on Blu-ray.
I'm actually okay with it because give Jean Grey a break.
Yeah.
Stop killing her.
Let her die.
Just or just let her be the awesome mutant that she can be. I mean, she's a telekinetic and a telepath.
Right.
Just let her, rule on something.
I mean, I understand character growth.
I'm saying rule because I'm trying not to curse. So
I understand character growth, but I miss the X-Men that, at the end of the day, they knew they answered to Xavier.
That's just it. There's no character growth. Once you think she's growing, she dies.
Yeah. Next book, Iron Man, by Kieran Gillen and Greg Land. I love Greg Land's art. I hate how he draws women's bodies, because he draws their hips and their legs very, very slim.
Yeah.
It's like, eat a sandwich. They all look like Ally McBeal.
Well, that's just that. I kind of don't mind it. It's just another certain type of character to draw. I would prefer. I like artists that kind of mix it up with different body styles because then it makes more sense.
To a point, but not when they look disproportionate. Robert Liefeld. Next book, Thor: God of Thunder. Jason Aaron. Now you know where he's going. And Isad Ribic. The name sounds familiar. He worked on Loki Blood Brother miniseries.
Oh yeah, that was a good series.
Yeah,
that was. That not a bad. I keep calling it an animatic. I don't know what Marvel's
animated.
The actual that not bad at all. You get it on Netflix.
I forgot what they call it too. I know what you're talking about.
The animated
book. The motion
motion
comics.
Comic, yeah, not bad. It's actually a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next, Captain America. There's that name again. Rick Remender and John Romita Jr. We all know JR style. Started off looking like his dad's artwork, developed into his own styles, blocky characters, so to speak. Yeah. To me, JR can only draw certain characters.
I kind of like that style.
I do too. I like it, but I like it on certain characters more than others. To me, Punisher. Because John Romita Jr.
One reason that I don't mind it, because he does change up a lot of the characterizations and a lot of the faces, and he changes it up enough where he's not going to fall into a Rob Liefeld. he's not gonna fall into the Rob Liefeld pit. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. All right, it can't be helped. Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, when he worked on Spider-Man, I liked it, and I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I think it was Web Up, right?
JR.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh no, he was on sensational.
Adjectiveless Spider-Man, okay. And then they renamed it Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yeah.
X-Men Legacy is getting relaunched. By Simon Spurrier and Tan Eng Hout.
Yeah.
I like the cover to it. It's they used old images of other characters to piece together Legion's face.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, we could keep going down this list here, but one thing that's been eating away at my head as you're reading this down is that these are a lot of heavy hitters. These are some solid teams. Marvel, what I mean is like there was some crazy big table meeting where there was some rhyme or reason why these guys are together on each of these books. How do you feel that being applied to how the JLA was put together?
The team or the creative team?
Have you seen their team? Just the characters alone.
Yeah,
they're creative.
Justice League, of course.
No, but like their new team coming up with Catwoman, Martian Manhunter.
Oh, you're talking about okay.
Yeah,
that's the third Justice League book they're putting out.
Yeah,
they're keeping the Justice League that's out now. That one is coming out as Justice League of America.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother story, man. That's a whole nother episode.
I couldn't.
As far as the creative team behind that book, I am so hyped to see that issue. David Finch's artwork lately has been so awesome on Batman. So badass. And then Jeff Johns cannot do any better. I take that back because I said that about Bendis. And I know you said it about Rob Liefeld in the 90s. I'm just hoping that Jeff Johns stays sharp. He's one of my favorite writers right now. He can do no wrong with everything that he's doing right now. His stuff is just on point.
Well,
the weakest thing that he is writing, I'd have to say right now, would be Justice League, believe it or not. His Aquaman is...
Hey, the cover man to Aquaman 12. The robot chicken? Yeah! Oh, we can't zoom in because we're over here, but...
It's on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Go check it out. But back to the Marvel now. Fantastic Four and FF. Both of them are getting relaunched. Both written by Matt Fraction. Mark Bagley, one of my favorite artists, is doing the pencils for Fantastic Four, while Mike Allred is coming to FF, which is pretty dope. last time Mark Allred did an ongoing series for Marvel was when they relaunched X-Force and then they became Ecstatics.
Oh yeah.
Remember
that?
And
it's hard for me to accept that one, being like the hardcore X-Force. But then as I bought them anyways, I think when
as you read them, you saw what he was going with it. Last Deadpool getting relaunched. Deadpool's been getting a lot of hype lately due to the video game and the movie. They've got 2 writers on his book, Jerry Dugan and Brian Posehn. Both of these guys are supposedly, I've never heard of them, but they're known comedians. And Tony Moore, a.k.a. co-creator of The Walking Dead, I don't care what Robert Kirkman says, Tony Moore was there. You know, Robert Kirkman doesn't want to give him his dues due to contracts. I get all that. Tony was, he made his mistakes with the contracts.
Yeah.
But it takes 2 to tango. Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Robert Kirkman, Tony Moore for The Walking Dead. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm kind of nervous about these writers on Deadpool because having 2 comedians write Deadpool means you're going to get a funny-ass comic. But does that devalue the character from what he was originally intended to be?
I think this is going to turn into something that you could cast Owen Wilson to play.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, a lot of people would just have that look. Think about it. It's one of those, like, action comedies like, oh, my God. What's that one, that action comedy that Bruce Willis did, The Whole 9 Yards? With that guy from Friends as his neighbor, and Bruce Willis is actually like a hitman that's retired. It's like one of those movies.
Oh God!
It's like it's all comedy and the action is accidental.
It's Deadpool and it's Tony Moore, so obviously I will be checking it out. I'm a huge Deadpool fan. I have high hopes. I don't know what these guys have done. Like I said, I've heard they're comedians. I've never seen any of their work. It might turn out to be good. I don't know that.
It also reminds me of that John Cusack movie that he did when he's a hitman, but he has to go to his high school reunion.
Yeah. I remember.
You remember that one?
I don't remember the name.
But you get what I'm going
with
with this? It's kind of like accidental action almost. Like he's on a mission. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like that. How they're actually hitman, but, it's through the action that all the foolishness happens.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that.
Well, that's the Marvel Now creative team at the moment. There's more to come, and as it comes, we'll hook you up with the info on it. Yeah. But another big thing this week in the news. Your boy, Rob Liefeld, for the 4th time
in 4 months,
has quit DC Comics. This time, he says it's for sure. He says his last issues with DC will be all the 0 issues coming out this month. There's a civilized way to quit a company,
and then there's the Twitter way.
And no, then there's the Twitter way. There's the Rob Liefeld way.
If you're up on your Twitter, if you're a fan of Rob Liefeld, go check his old posts. He has a big mouth.
He says the problem with DC is the editorial staff. We don't work for DC, so we don't know that.
But
we don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
We were at the Image 7 panel where Rob Liefeld, and this is where I started really disliking him, where he compared himself to Magic Johnson. You remember that?
AIDS?
No, yeah. You remember? No, you remember there?
Yeah.
He was trying to get an example of, what was he giving an example of?
I don't know. He was drawing the whole time. He's just like, right, Rob? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what he was even, what was the point to what he was saying. He compared himself to Magic Johnson, and even, oh my God, Silvestri, I thought he was going to fall off his chair. He was like, what? Everybody tried to, because they're boys, they try to keep a straight face, but
yeah, you can see the audience.
There was like this unsteady,
there was that silence. Yeah, seriously, did he just say that? Yeah. Where's the America's Funniest Videos camera?
Take a guy with that attitude, and make him plot some of your best books out there. What do you think is gonna happen?
Some of your best books? Seriously?
Supposed to be. They were all supposed to be hits. They're all supposed to be like a big deal.
I don't see how. Maybe it was a contract thing.
Remember, like DC just came out of we made all of our 3rd tier characters really awesome.
Right.
Yeah, that was the point.
Going to this, I guess maybe it was a contract thing. How do you have Rob Liefeld on Hawk and Dove? The sales suck. You cancel his book. Let's put him on 3 other books. They put him on Savage Hawkman, Deathstroke, and Grifter.
Savage Hawkman, excuse me. I like the concept of it, and it feels like a book that he should have been successful in.
This is the thing though with Savage Hawkman, in my opinion now, and I'm going to say this because I've read the issues. No offense.
Okay.
The beginning of the run before Liefeld jumped on it, I didn't like. They made the Hawkman armor more like the Venom symbiote. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. Philip Tan's art was just a little too watercolored for me.
Okay.
I think Rob Liefeld on the book actually improved it. He only did covers and he co-plotted the book.
I could see that.
I saw a little improvement with Hawkman as Liefeld jumped on. Moving on to Grifter, I didn't see a difference whatsoever. To me, Grifter was always just like this, and it just kind of stayed like that when he got on it. Now, Deathstroke, Liefeld, he destroyed that book. Deathstroke's first story arc before Liefeld got on the book was great. It was an inner tale where he looked at he examined the relationship with his father as a son, and then his relationship as a father with his son. So I thought the dynamics there were very good. The action was great. It was where it needed to be. There was no unnecessary dialogue, no extra, caption bubbles, nothing like that.
Unnecessary dialogue.
It was just great. The art was on point, everything. Liefeld comes on the book and introduces a big character, Lobo. Okay? With Lobo having a movie coming up, supposedly, they screwed it up so bad. That was not Lobo. I don't know what the hell that was. He didn't look like Lobo. He didn't talk like Lobo. He did not act like Lobo.
Did they use Lobo from the 52 universe where he looked like Captain Jack Sparrow, or old school Lobo?
Neither. He was just like a cat man.
Oh.
He looked like Wolverine's sideburns to the 10th power.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so screwed up.
So it looked like one of his characters from Youngblood.
Yeah, exactly. It so did.
Because I immediately imagined the character in my head.
And then they introduced Zealot from Wildcats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they introduced her into the book. So Liefeld was drawing her, and then her little mercenary team had this guy that I swear to God,
the ninjas.
No, it wasn't a ninja. It was just like random dudes. The story went that Lobo had destroyed these people's universes, so it was like the lone survivor from each universe that he destroyed compromised this team to take revenge on Lobo.
Yeah.
So one of the characters was like a wolf guy straight out of Youngblood. I swear, just they painted him, they colored him different. That was it.
Wow.
I will say this, we're old school, we're Rob Liefeld fans.
That's why we'd probably catch it.
I am glad they took him off the book before they decided. Somebody at DC decides to take a stupid pill and say, hey, you know what? Jim Lee's co-publisher. It worked when we brought his Wildstorm universe and merged it with DC. What happens if we bring the Extreme Studios universe and mix it with DC?
Oh, man.
Superman versus Coven. Can you imagine that?
Here's the thing. I mean,
Shaft?
Why is he even giving a crap of being let go on a DC book? What was the point then of Image if all he did was come back to DC?
Another thing that I don't know what it was. I know it was a contract dispute, or not a contract. It was creative differences. Right. No, I totally get it. The thing that got me, he's gonna end up at Image again.
Well, yeah,
it's his thing.
Yeah.
For some, maybe even a mini series, he's gonna go back to Marvel.
I mean, but here's the thing: when you own your own company, why can't you focus on your characters? Why do you keep bouncing around? He did that little stint with like Arcade Comics. Awesome. Well, he
wasn't very awesome.
It went nowhere. Like after the first couple of issues.
Yeah.
But seriously, like stop getting distracted with all these other projects. I get it. Like how some people like Sylvester, he talks about it. Like how he used like, okay, if I'm gonna work on your book, then let me bring your characters to my book.
Yeah. Let's
cross marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But Rob Liefeld's not even doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
that's what pisses me off though, because him and Walking Dead man Robert Kirkman created a book for Image called The Infinite.
Yeah.
It was time travel. The guy reminded me, it was just like a Cable ripoff.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, it's okay because Rob Liefeld created Cable as well. But Robert Kirkman writing it, the story after like the third issue, you can see, okay, this is gonna go somewhere. Rob Liefeld's art wasn't the greatest in the anatomy on one of the pictures. Like this girl had a boob here and a boob over there, and I was just like, those ain't boobs. Those are like dislocated shoulders. But the story you could see was starting to go somewhere. Due to creative differences, I don't know the main reason, but that's what they said. They canceled the book flat out with issue 4. I'm sitting here like a dumbass. Where's issue 5? There is no issue 5, Junior. It's canceled.
I'm sorry, but I think Rob Liefeld maybe he should just focus on his own label for a while.
He should.
He needs to.
They just revamped Youngblood. Why doesn't he focus on
all
that?
these creative issues, like on his Twitter feed with Capullo and all that. With
we
Snyder
gotta
and
get to that. That was great.
If you go on Twitter, we copied the link over to our Facebook page on Comics Remix. But he was going. Rob Liefeld went on this like 10-tweet rant before Capullo jumped in. Then him and Capullo went back and forth.
And then Scott Snyder jumped in.
And Snyder's just straight told
One tweet killed it. He looked at. He says, "Your tweet about quitting DC is the best thing you've ever written."
Yep.
As soon as he said that, I was just like, "Done. It's done." You know, there was a photo I posted. They were like, "Is Rob Liefeld the Charlie Sheen of comics?"
Yeah, I just thought about
him running away from a mushroom cloud. Said, "Haters gonna hate." I thought that was funny.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, this makes a lot of sense. Maybe I'm just going off in my own little tangent here, but his big thing is writing about time travelers, going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
But he himself is the character that can't let go of his own little cycle. He left DC, made this big deal, kicked some sand in their eye, went to Image, and now he's disappeared from there. And he's back in Image and Marvel and working everywhere else except on his own stuff.
Yeah, the point of them creating Image was to get away and say they can do stuff on their own.
But he's a time traveler. He's going to come back to Image.
I mean, I see Silvestri's point on it. I see Jim Lee. They're both businessmen. Jim Lee and Silvestri both making smart moves.
Yeah.
When it comes, especially like you said with Silvestri, I'll do your book if you give me your character for an issue or two. I see that's good.
Todd McFarlane a little bit more stern. It's like I'm gonna stand on my
I'm
feet
focusing
on
on
my
my
own.
shit, and that's it. And look at how
Which worked
successful
out.
he is.
He expanded from being an illustrator into
McFarlane Toys.
Enterprises. You know,
McFarlane Toys is a
Yeah.
household name, dude.
Yeah.
You know, people come in, and it's not just for the Spawn figures, the sports figures, the Walking Dead figures.
Really cool plug for McFarlane Toys. He did the Heinz Ward figure with the Gotham.
The Gotham, yes, the Gotham
with the
football
Gotham
player.
jersey. Yeah.
I saw that.
That looked awesome.
I saw that.
But see, and it's like Rob Liefeld just can't get away from his past.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I think this whole time travel thing is psychological.
Now, let me back up real quick and clarify. The reason why Liefeld and Snyder and Capullo got into it on Twitter...
Because of Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Liefeld just constantly bashing DC, bashing the editors, whatever. Once he said the only reason Batman sells is because it's Batman. It doesn't matter who you put on the book.
Right.
It sells because it's Batman. That's when the creative team of that book is going to take offense, which they did.
Yeah.
Greg Capullo, I mean, his art isn't cheap shit, dude. He's got some sweet ass art. And Scott Snyder's no slouch either.
Which, if you read the tweets, if Rob Liefeld is someone that just believes that you could lean on a brand and not really have to do anything, then it really does.
That would explain why Extreme
explains,
Studios isn't around.
It explains his style, and it really just explains his horrible plotting.
Now, with all this, if you were Marvel, would you hire him back for even a miniseries?
Here's the thing, man. I think from a professional point of view,
as a writer,
not
even as Marvel, as a writer, would you want to work
There's a
with
respect that goes around. Even if you get fired from somewhere, you don't go around talking crap about it.
Right.
Okay?
I agree.
When you're becoming so involved in social networking and you bring those aspects into social networking, you're opening it up so everybody could see it.
Right.
And that anybody could judge you based off of it. If I were your future employer and I saw how you were treating your former employees and coworkers, that's going to reflect on your chances of coming on board to my team.
Right.
And that's it.
That's it.
You screwed yourself, Rob. Even if you do get a shot at Marvel, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a deal on your terms.
Right. Anything else you wanted to throw in for this
I think
news episode?
The reason we're talking about Rob Liefeld again for the 20,000th time and actually elaborate on it, because this is a good lesson learned for any professional out there, and not just to point fingers.
We gotta get him on the show, even if it's like on a phone call.
Yeah, but it's also like not just to point fingers and be like, oh, your stuff really sucks. He has this hardcore following, but it's just something to really pay attention to, and that's it.
Did you want to mention Crumb?
It was his birthday. He's got some awesome documentary. One of my favorites, the one that PBS did. You could always check it out on YouTube. I know there was a film done about him afterwards, which is a lot more in depth. R. Crumb, just to generalize, as an illustrator, as a fan, we love you. Happy birthday.
Metal Gear Solid movie.
Oh my God.
Never really played the game. Not a big fan. I'm not a huge gamer, for those that know me.
But Kojima,
I got like 2 video games that I play that are in the current systems. And
Hideo Kojima made the bold move and got Snake. It's gonna be.
so you'll see a man in a box on the TV screen.
Yeah.
Or on the big screen.
Yeah, Israel.
In IMAX.
Our video guy, he's super
Yeah,
excited. He's already
like-
like, let's put Wolverine, mix him in with who did he say? With Robotech, mix it in with Robotech. Just bring all these fucking movies
It's
together,
like-
and you got Metal Gear.
Yeah. Well, that's it for 17.1, Breaking the Fourth Wall. It's this week's in news. We'll get back to you with 17.2, where we talk about some of the current TV shows that are going on that kind of affect our hobby, so to speak.
There
So
you go.
until then, I'm Junior, and it's David.
Have
We'll
a
see
good
you guys
night.
next episode.
Thank you very much.